Not long ago, I used its self-developed astronomical plan. They have made their own A168 Turbo, the world's first 16K ultra-high polling rate and line performance, combined with the overall body, top-tier looks, texture, and attractive price. This has enabled it to master dual platforms and achieve 100% positive reviews. After the recent release of their flagship S68 GT, once again, the new screen highly rated edition on both platforms achieved top 1 results, which is truly impressive. So, how does it actually look to get in your hands? To answer this question, I also got a pink Taishan GT version of the S68 GT. Let's have a good chat about how it really feels like to experience. If you're thinking of buying a good early game continuous game to play games recently, or maybe they've already set their sights on it, but it doesn't know what the actual experience above is like, I believe this video should answer some of your questions about it. Let's not say much. Let's first look at the optional A468 GT, which offers a pink Taishan. 2 types of switches are available: GT magnetic switches and BMW magnetic switches. In terms of price, the BMW 4 perimeter version is about 100 yuan cheaper, while the pink transparent color casing uses a polymer spraying process. Other colors are distinguished by oxygen oxidation. In other words, oxygen oxidation becomes more delicate, silky smooth, feels very similar to a Mac. Spraying it feels even more moist and smooth. When you touch it, you can feel a subtle texture. If you have sweaty hands, I think spraying it is quite comfortable. For the positioning version, there are black and silver versions. Two-tone carbon fiber and aluminum alloy materials are used for blood protection. In addition, in terms of performance, they are exactly the same. The one I have is the pink sheer color with silver carbon fiber positioning version. A bit old, let's do a quick unboxing first. Take a look at the item, open the flip box and you'll see the keyboard itself. It includes a Cellsong brand sticker and a quick hands-on guide. Individual accessories are reasonable. There's also a data cable in the same theme color as the keyboard and a printed pulse mark. From the logo dual use 8 weeks 8 weather and 2 spare pink table 3 porcelain items. As you can tell from the name, the keyboard itself is a 68-inch layout. The target audience for this arrangement is actually quite clear. It's just for playing games. Especially since FPS gaming machines are compact and don't take up much space. This gives the mouse more room to operate. However, unlike other products, its exterior texture and overall design style are more distinctive. And because it supports MT advanced key functions, you can set the number area above to short and press trigger. Long pressing the number triggers functions like F1 and F2, so it even achieves the FG effect on a 68 layout keyboard. The keyboard shell uses a pink full aluminum finish with a matte finish. Combined with the Starlight loose powder spray, the texture feels very delicate to the touch. The mesh baffles on both sides are sharply angular and varied. The double pink color block also features a double layer splicing design. The built-in LGB light strip evenly illuminates both sides of the keyboard. It really does have the vibe of a mech warship. The aluminum panel at the bottom is engraved with the Meitzong logo. It also underwent secondary westernization treatment. Also a contrasting shade of dark and light pink. The PC fog head features a regular sword cap and upper light position design. The side offers better light transmission. While the top matte head ensures soft and even lighting, it also effectively prevents grease splatter. The effect after turning on the lights looks roughly like this. I Mashilf Shifter Post Masquerade. I wonder what everyone thinks of this exterior? There are 3 indicator lights and an RT button at the top right corner of the keyboard and on the back of the face. Later, you can directly set 3 different presets in the driver. Then, when playing different games, you can switch between them with one click. For example, I set them up in the driver. It became 3 modes: office games and taboo. For daily work typing, set to RT1. For a longer trigger gradient. For games that require a slightly quicker button trigger. For example, mobile games like L1 Delta and design games that don't take a few days. Like the 2-week operation, right? I set a shorter gradient corresponding to RT2. When tile laying, it was set to a certain limit. Gradual corresponds to RT3. This way, whether for daily use or switching to game mode, you can switch directly with one click, which is indeed very convenient to use. Speaking of the specific buttons, the one I have is the pink Taishan G-Row GT, and the single axle price has reached 5 yuan each. Just the 68 axles alone cost 340 yuan. As the flagship switch, it inherits all the advantages of Taishan's meat-holding machine, and as the name suggests, steady as a mountain, retaining the calm and pressure-driven feel that comes from the long Tang-Tang style. The same oversized dust arm and integrated design are the same. The casing features a bidirectional 6-rail design, further suppressing a swing in the axis through spatial treatment. The feel remains very stable. You could say it's T0 level. Pressing it all the way really doesn't move at all. As for the pressing feel, the initial force of 32 grams, plus 40 grams of bottoming force to form a map with up to 8 grams of force. Killing is extremely effortless and agile. I personally really like this tactile feedback optimization. After long-term use, it doesn't feel tiring, and the rebound is not weak. It also made some changes in materials and structure. You can listen first. I'm holding the switch in my hand. The sound of pressing. You can hear its sound is very moist and very light. It can even be considered as half a mute switch. The reason for this effect is that it uses a special strip P-based material housing. The bottom of the bracket consists of 4 fan-shaped pivots and one of them, a fan-shaped vortex structure composed of turbulence holes. When the magnet hits the 4 fan-shaped fulcrums, this allows sound to be quickly expelled through the spoiler holes. This achieves the effect of softening the sound. Actually press it. It truly lacks the sharpness and aerodynamics of traditional group holding. It is a rather muffled hi-fi mahjong sound. Here, I can also show you the typing sound performance of this keyboard. In terms of performance, the S68 GT is now in its comfort zone. Other keyboards claim to have 8K polling rate and low latency. When operating Super Follower, it claims to be the Tianwen plan. It boasts the world's first ultra-high return rate of 16K. And the ultra-high 256K scan rate theoretical latency can reach an astonishing 0.06 milliseconds, combined with multiple dual-core chips and seasonal custom designs. Hall sensors and 4-layer precision PCB activate the wild mode. After 2.0, RT accuracy can reach 0.001 millimeters. Moreover, it remains stable, constantly improving response speed and trigger accuracy. This aspect really maximizes the overall performance. All I can say is, as long as what's done in front of the screen is still human, then it doesn't have any performance bottlenecks. Absolute flagship quality. However, it is important to note that enabling 16K requires USB 3.0. For example, when we first use it and connect the keyboard to the computer and open the driver, this will directly prompt whether the USB 3.0 port connection is currently in use. It also prompts you to upgrade to a dedicated 3.0 driver. Then we recommend using the original cable or high-quality USB 3.0 cables to connect to the keyboard. So if you want to experience this 16K, pay attention to this interface issue. Software has always been my personal favorite. A major component of the Meet keyboard, a good software experience. It absolutely optimizes our gaming and user experience. And the Pulse, the MUB from Tsong, is now among the top in the industry. Both web and software drivers are easy to set up. Besides the traditional mechanical keyboard that opens windows, lock 17,000 Mac mode settings besides Red Core modification. Naturally, it also supports SOCD RSDK, SMT, TGL, and other advanced key functions. You might have heard about it often, but you don't know what these things are for. I mentioned this a couple of times earlier, so here we can briefly talk about it. For example, with this dynamic progressive DKS, we enable this feature, and after setting it, you can release a button the moment you do, automatically press another button. So when playing games that require sudden stops, after releasing the A button, you can automatically press the D button. The process of setting automatic reverse emergency stop is also very simple. You only need to bind the AD key to the DA key separately. Release it to trigger it. The SOCD feature was also very popular recently. When you want to lay tiles, activate this function and press it simultaneously. A and D are fixed to the trigger button, creating even more outrageous decorations. From the enemy's perspective, it looks just like running and fighting. The previously mentioned single-key dual-function MT allows custom F region layout to 68. Press and hold down the different number keys on the keyboard to trigger the number and F zone respectively. Effect. Besides these advanced key functions, we can also make axes for each button, adjust different lighting effects for body calibration, and after saving different onboard forecasts, simply switch between keys with one touch on the keyboard. For new player networks, Tsong has prepared 6 different official configurations. There are beginner setups suitable for office work and other games, and the listening setup lets you unlock it to play tiles, and extreme configurations suitable for more competitive players, among other features. You can also import professional player configuration parameters with one click. You could say they're worried about novice players not knowing how to set it up. In summary, this time, the Pulse from the S68 GT magnetic keyboard is retained in the series. Based on flagship performance and top-tier exterior quality, it also offers an excellent software setup experience. Additionally, the pink Taishan magnetic shaft and carbon wire are used as positioning plates. It delivers an excellent tactile and sound performance. For those who want to balance gaming performance with a keyboard, aesthetics, and sound performance, it really is a great choice. If your budget happens to be at this price point and you're looking for a stylish one recently, the continuous keyboard is both useful and sounds great, so you can also learn more about it. For the Meitzong brand, I personally have been using products from the very beginning. They were criticized from the very beginning. It does not move in thin air. The drive looks like a treasure from ancient times. Up to now, all kinds of products have long and received a lot of positive reviews as well as double quality. The industry's top driver has also become the 2025 mechanical keyboard. The brand with the highest sales nationwide has indeed been moving in a positive direction. It's hard to see a domestic brand so serious about iteration and upgrades. Compared to the neighboring one, which updates every 3 to 5 years, it can do 3 to 5 times a year, and it really is quite comfortable. On one hand, I naturally hope everyone can keep competing. Yeah, we players don't have much to say. On the other hand, I also hope everyone can see the efforts made by domestic brands. Trying out these products firsthand, the results are really quite good. Alright, that's all for this video. I've already prepared and posted the keyboard superpower buying guide. If you don't know what other configuration parameters the keyboard has, you can also check out this video on my homepage. Thank you very much for your support. I am Hai. See you all in the next video.